All right, what's up, y'all? So we are gonna break down pretty much what the trades or the two trades that we took today, this morning during New York. Full market breakdown, everything you can think of with that. All right, so as we circle back, we do have bar replay equipped and everything like that, right? So again, we were looking at longs. And I kind of discussed this on the live this morning and everything like that. So what we did, we came through, marked our areas of interest on the 15 and the 30 is what I utilized. So realistically the 15. So where we were with price this morning, we did have yesterday's buy side liquidity at a high. And then I just kind of trickled through, let price run itself, run its course from about 8 to 9, just to see what kind of areas, the additional areas we could mark. So as we saw this wick here, again, we marked yesterday's previous high from that 4 a.m., 4 o'clock candle, whatever happened in news, whatever. And then came through buy side liquidity here at about 8 o'clock. Formed sell side around 8:45, 8:30. And we just played it with that, right? So drop down further, to 3 minute micro time frames, smallest time frames, everything of that nature. And we just wanted to see what price was going to do. Obviously, we saw that we were in an uptrend overnight. We kind of had that consolidation pre-market, everything from Asian through London. But as you can see, we're identifying higher highs, higher lows as just price continues to move up, right? So I knew I wanted a reaction off the buy side overall today. So why not just take our risk and target, those buy side areas, buy side liquidity areas with NQ. Could have done this with YM as well as ES, but we were trading NQ today. So once we broke this high, obviously we saw price as we just continue to see it form, right? And as price is forming, I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, we have market open and a little too far here. Realistically, once market open, I'm again looking for longs. Market proceeds to open up here and coming roughly here. So I knew once I saw kind of price drop a little bit, we were anticipating some form of a buy, right? So what I wanted to see, a few candle closures, everything of that nature there. And again, we were targeting these buys. So about right here is kind of when we jumped in this trade, roughly at this close. And we just rode that for measly standard, say, pip count range, for 1 to 3, and targeted buy side. It's kind of happened really quick, so we couldn't necessarily pin it and send it out. So this was the first initial trade. I actually do believe I sent this out and instantly said it was TP2. So we did wick through here, retrace down. So that was a portion of one move that I did catch today, where we did walk away with a little bit of profit. Obviously, you can see price came down, grabbed a little bit of liquidity here, which is kind of what we wanted to see. So where I was with price personally, at least with this trade, we did have a failed inversion gap, right? As you can see here on the 1 minute, to me, this looked like a fake out. So I knew we came through, grabbed liquidity here off these lower areas and wanted to see it push up, right? So as we continue trading, we trade down, catch more of a buy, a wick here. And as soon as we saw this kind of break of structure back up through the inverse fair value gap, so utilize it as fake out again. Liquidity grab here off this area. I can even mark that. So some form of liquidity grab here through that area. Price continues to run forward. We take our positions at the high of that candle close. Next candle out right here. And again, we could just simply target these highs. I knew we had to pretty much run back through TP, uh, original TP and everything of that nature of this first trade that I was realistically looking for. But that's ideally what we did not necessarily, or we did get that. I'm sorry. So if we were to realistically targeting a full swing off of just these points here, could have risked a little extra just with how we, profited yesterday, things of that nature. But we did continue to stick with our due diligence of our, NQ schematics here. Right. So this was about kind of where we got into that trade. and price just continued to move up, right? A little bit of drawdown comes in, never really wicked us all the way out, and immediately took it off, right? Boom, full TP here. This was a bit about $1,500, which is what I needed in terms of passing. So I did pass this account within 2 days, right? Uh, I did risk a lot more here just for confluence purposes and, testing my theory as far as what I was looking at within the market. To me, this was an A+ setup, right? Again, liquidity grab as we anticipated buys and targeting necessarily this buy side liquidity area up here. Um, Break, retest, grab, liquidity grabs, and proceed on with bullish orders, right? So about once we got up to this area here, I did kind of identify price reversal. So me thinking this was a full-on reversal, I did pursue a sell, right? Again, here because we did A+ setup, kind of an A+ setup. I give it an A- B+ range, something of that nature, because we did inverse this here. So this could have been treated as a liquidity grab above, grab liquidity, sell down. Could have possibly retested this fair value gap that formed there, but we did enter a short position here, and immediately we kind of got stopped out, right? So we risked a lot more there necessarily as it played. Immediately stopped out. Do I fault this trade? No, again, I do not. Just with that, that close there, it was about right here. We immediately kind of jumped in about right there because our TP got edged. TP1 roughly got edged. So about, yeah, somewhere in this nature. I expected price to at least wick us through TP1. Could have, bounced off this again and kept going down, but it failed. So held to be a fair value gap, kind of just a fake out situation, continue to upside, right? So as we're continuing throughout the day, necessarily, we can just let this play out. Say if we held these buy positions down here, just took a buy there, as you can see, price just continued to move, right? So end all be all with buys. Logically, we could have took it up a lot higher than where we stopped, or where I stopped at personally, because I didn't give that signal out. Um, Price just continued to trade up, right? So around here, we get to see more price consolidation. This is forming this instance of left head. Then you got the head. So pretty much the overall head and shoulders pattern for the sell is what we continue to form here, right? So as price just continues to play here, formed a beautiful sell schematic, right? So overall, left head, we got the head forming the right shoulder kind of in this range. You had displacement here. So we can mark that as displacement. Created some form of liquidity. We didn't exactly touch this buy side liquidity at all for whatever reason there. But that is okay. In terms of that, 3 candles going hard that way. More liquidity. Could have caught this off of a possible retest if it does form. Well, something of this nature. So now the displacement, this is also displacement. This is also displacement. Some form of fair value gap. If we didn't necessarily utilize the sell off up here, could have probably ran this off of the 70. It should be a 78.6 fib entry as well. Um, this, oh yeah, 79.8, roughly almost there. But we could have, sold that just with our general trading parameters there. Let's see if price came back and would have tagged us, right in. So we could have potentially been in something of this nature off the high. Roughly about 25 for a smooth 75, right? Something of that nature could have been right. We almost would have got without here, whatever case may be, it would have been okay. But market data trades, market entry trades, we would have taken a sell probably off of the close of that candle realistically. But as price continues to play out, full TP. And then as price further continues down, I'm like, okay, we pretty much swept the buy side. We can tag this as stay buy side, right? We haven't took anything sell side, so we're going to target these lows. As price continued to approach kind of back into this area over here, I was a little hesitant on calling a sell just because I didn't want to overtrade or anything like that, but we could have. So kind of as this is forming, if we were to drag this across, right? Boom, tap back into this zone, kind of area where resistance becomes a form of support. Prices continue to trade down. Get a break of structure here. A nice retest if we drag this further. So we could have taken this, you know, to revise setup necessarily off of this. Test the high there. About 30 tick, yeah, 30 points, 30 handles there. And could have just played this back down. So ideally, if we were going off of just some zone to zone trading, we could have traded this low here, or we could have necessarily just traded back all the way down. So this would have been a banger setup, at least these last two into that sales. So that I believe that was the 10:45, 11:15 macro that we would have capitalized off that. So as this just continues to play down, kind of see where price, did. And as you can see, no full on retest, um, and just continues to push down, right? So eventually, I believe this hits TP if we were to have, say, capitalized and traded this, right? Retest, as you can see, and price eventually hits. So if we were to just capitalize off our trading strategies and everything like that, we've been good. I know this would have scared a lot of people necessarily, but it is part of the game. If you wanted to be break even, it'd be break even. If not, so be it. But this is ideally what two possibility setups, ideally what we look for. These were necessarily rush setups. Not too overly proud with those, but end all be all that first trade or second trade. The first two trades necessarily got me past. Um, I wish I kind of identified this better for the chat Discord purposes, just for that. But at the end of the day, with proper risk management, I think we only lost roughly, say, not even a full percent. So 0.5%, that's roughly about 250 for going off of what we normally trade, which is a-okay because these last, month, March quarter Q1 was wonderful to us. Um, if you understand that situation as far as what I went through, then so be it. But in terms of everyone else, overall, it was a profitable month and profitable quarter, so we did well. So we can't be too mad over 250 being lost. So yeah, overall, these were my setups. Again, these were two possibility setups that I wish we kind of capitalized off of, and one hesitant one that I just didn't want to call. But other two winning trades necessarily that got us funded, or at least me funded on one account, on one L. So we'll take that in the day with profit. So if you find value with this video, then you're in the right place. If you found value with how I teach or analyze the markets, you also found yourself in the right place. If you're looking for proper mentorship that aligns with this trading strategies and just wanting to learn how the ins and outs of futures trading and getting funded works, not only getting funded but staying funded, you are in the right place. So if you feel like that is your calling, and we're here to help and not benefit just ourselves but others, that's our goal here at Market Mentors. Definitely take a look at the website. Saw some good bio, as well as if you feel like you just want to join and be a part of a well-rounded community, feel free to join the Discord. We're here to help, teach, learn, and shadow you every single step of the way on your funded journey. So again, stay tuned for the next one. I'll let y'all later.